Hey, it's Miss T over here. Just trying to show you how to glue on your fins. So we're going to use a little bit of creative cinematography here for me to try and uh, show you how this works. And using the camera on my Chromebook. This is gonna be interesting. Anyway, so notice I've already got one of the fins glued on. And if I unhook this here, you can see that there's about 7 centimeters of open area underneath my body tube. And when you glue your fins on, remember that we want to have you want to follow the layout that you designed from the open rocket. So however many centimeters your fins were lagging behind the body tube there is how many that you should actually build it with. In the case of mine, it came out to about 7.5. Then notice I'm going to be using 4. So my fins are going to go at 90-degree angles. And so I found this piece of foam in the garage that is right about half of the width of my body tube. So it just perfectly uh, is exactly where I want my fin to be. You can use pretty much anything. You can stack some books or some notebooks underneath there. Whatever you have, tuna can, I don't know, but whatever you have, you want to elevate and be able to hold your fin flat while it dries. Now, in the absence of that, you can use some things like masking tape or lots of families have like little stick pins for sewing. They can substitute for our T-pins. But the thing is that you want it to be really structurally sturdy while it dries. Because if your fin dries at an angle, that means it's going to provide pressure at an angle, and you're going to not have a nice, clean, straight takeoff from your rocket. It will affect the direction that your rocket travels once it takes off. So once you find something that you can lay your fin on and make sure that it's nice and level and flat, you also want to mark where the end of your body tube is. So notice I put a nice little black mark. I measured 7.5 centimeters from the bottom of each of my fins so that when I glue them on, they're all going to have the exact same amount of reveal underneath the rocket. And that way the rocket will also sit nice and flat on the launch pad when we launch it. Okay, so before I glue this on, I'm going to take a piece of my metal tape, if you have any left, and I'm going to tape this along the inside. So notice I lined it up with that mark that I had made on there, and I'm just gonna fold half over the front, half over the back. Now, if you ran out of the aluminum tape, you can use aluminum foil. Just glue some aluminum foil across here. I've had kids do aluminum foil over the front and the back of the entire fin. That's definitely an option that you can do if you're worried about it catching on fire. It's going to increase the mass, obviously, but it will make it less likely that your fins catch on fire. So making sure that we're directly across and we have a nice straight line. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice bead of glue along the edge of the fin here. Now, if you're using anything important, like, I don't know, an algebra book, for instance, to raise up your fins, make sure that you cover them with paper so that you don't drip glue down the side, because you definitely don't want to ruin something like that. But just put a nice kind of thick bead of glue along there. Some of that's going to drip down in between and fill in the little spaces. Once that dries, you're going to flip it over and you're going to do like what I did here. And you're going to place another bead of glue across the side that wasn't glued. So notice how there's another bead of glue here across this one. So you're going to glue each fin from both the top and the bottom. And that way you have a nice wide contact point to hold it on. And then once again, you want to double check and make sure that line is right at the bottom edge of the body tube so that your body tube sits flat. So once you get the first two fins on, you're going to have to find something a little thicker to put under your rocket to hold it up. And, you're going to have to play with it a little bit because after you have two on there, now you've got, one, it's resting on a fin on the bottom side too. But you just want to keep doing that 4 times until you get all the fins on there. And then we will only have one step left, and that will be to add our launch lug, and then we'll be ready to pack parachutes, add our motors, and launch our rockets. So we're getting super close to being done, and it's exciting, and I can't wait to see what you guys have. So talk to you later, and happy fin constructing.